Guys, here's the project. It's 88. Pretty straight car. Not bad, not too bad. It ain't been molested at all. Had to put wheel bearings in it yesterday, and I drove it home about 60 miles from here. Seats broke as usual on these cars. It's not too bad. As far as hot rodding it, you know, his budget's limited, really limited, so I don't know how much we're going to definitely take. It's got a speed density fuel injection on it. That's got to go. And he's old school, and so am I. Let me set y'all down and open the hood up. Probably gonna put a carburetor on it. Change all that stuff over. I gave it about 3 baths this morning, a gallon and a half of Purple Power to get it where you could see the engine. They had told him at the shop that he took it to before he called me that they needed to rebuild the engine and all kind of stuff, but most of the leaks was the distributor was loose down in there. It was coming up around the seal, the gasket. That whole valley down in there was full of oil, and it was just running down. Same thing with the valve covers. It was all over the back of the engine, running down, looking like the rear main seal, but it was the valve covers. Let's see if y'all can see under it. It's pretty low. I don't know if you can see anything or not, but it's in good shape. The body ain't dented up underneath it. The subframe's not been messed with, and it's a decent car to start with. We're going to get it running good for him, and where he can at least drive it. He needs the clutch is pretty hard to push in because the cable's old. I don't think there's. I did notice somebody had put the spacer plate. Somebody went and put a spacer plate up underneath there. Maybe for whoever has replaced the idle air motor. The O2 sensors are pooched out on it. It's hunting idle. And but it runs good. It's got good oil pressure. And let's get the keys. We're going to rip all this off. I'm going to pull the fuel injection off of it. We're going to run a regulator to the fuel pump in the tank right now. I know that's not ideal, but it'll flow enough for this. I mean, it's 225 horsepower. Change distributor. I'm going to change the intake, put the carburetor on it, and get it running decent for him. Put in some nice valve covers and stuff like that on it. Try to do away with the smog pump, and then try to get the AC working for him. You know, a hot rod to him is, you know, basically this. Is, you know, if it was me and mine, that engine would be coming out of there. Put something else in it, but I don't even know if he's going to be able to really drive the thing. It's kind of up in the air on that deal. But you know, you get older and you want to do things that you did when you were young, and it hits hell on you. You know, I could only imagine if I was 73 and wanting a hot rod and couldn't even push the clutch in. It would be rough. It's actually running better since I cleaned the engine up and exercised all the electrical connections. have a flat spot in it though. Here. Was running real rich, loping like it was had a cam in it, like it had a E-cam or something in it, but it was just the temp sensor and all that shit wasn't even hooked up on it, so it had it running really shitty. Oil pressure's good, it's charging. The transmission, even when I was driving home yesterday, transmission smooth. That's usually not the case in one of these. Usually somebody's done beat the hell out of it and ruined the damn synchronizers in the transmission. I think it's really got 91,000 miles on it. I mean, little leaks are common on these. You can see it wet right here around the distributor. It was running down in front of the engine. Same thing with the back. Both back sides of the valve covers leaking on it. But I got to get a parts list up and see, you know, just what he can spend on it. I mean, I'm sure me and Jennifer are helping too, you know, it's her daddy. But as far as yanking the engine out and beefing it all up, you know, it ain't really worth doing all that. Not if you can't afford to get aluminum heads and or at least some GT40Ps or something like that put on it. It wouldn't be worth it taking it out. You might get 275 horse out of it if you changed the cam and did a few things, but if he wants it to go faster, we'll put nitrous on it. I may have to drive him in it, but whatever, I don't care. That's probably going to turn out anyway. That's why I'm kind of going slow on it. I'm not going to yank this motor out and do a bunch of stuff to it, you know, because it may end up to be where I go pick the old man up and take him to the car shows and stuff. I mean, he can get around, he's just, his knees are bad, jumping out of airplanes in the military. But he's in love with this Mustang, man. He called me last night. He ain't called me today yet, but I'm sure he will, seeing how it was going with it. But they had told him it needed a whole new engine. Damn shops, man. Them shops gets people all the time. You gotta watch them. You gotta watch where you take your shit to. But it does need a clutch cable. We're gonna change it to a different quadrant and an adjustable cable. And maybe do something like that. You know, something, try to get the clutch a little bit easier. It's hard to push in now, but you can see it separating, and it's not. The clutch, the cable's just screwed. You can't feel the break point in the pressure plate. It just feels hard all the way to the floor, all the way back up, which would tell you your cable's screwed. But the clutch works good and everything. It don't chatter or anything like that. We can get all this garbage out from under this hood and make it look a lot better. Somebody painted the hoses and everything. I got most of it off. But it's going to need radiator hoses, belt, bypass hoses, thermostat, intake, carburetor, valve covers, breather, fuel pressure gauge. And it'll be a different rig. Get all this smog shit unhooked. Anyway, I thought I'd show you guys this thing. It's not going to take away from the Jeep too much. I could probably do all that in a weekend and have it done as soon as I get parts. Oh, and the rack and pinion's got to be changed on it too. That was another thing. The radiator should be here for the Jeep Wednesday. We'll get that in there. It wasn't running hot or nothing. I just don't want to be dealing with it over the summer. We're going to put a switch on it to turn them off, turn the whole system off when we get in water on the Jeep. Anyway, guys, I thought I'd show y'all this dealio. Got an eyeball out. We're gonna fix the eyeball that's busted. order him up one of these. Ran into the back of the ran into a trailer with it. Trailer tongue. Luckily that's all it did to it. But we'll see where this goes. I'll keep y'all, if y'all want me to make movies on it as I go with it, y'all let me know. And we will fix him up for him. If this wasn't speed density type fuel injection, we would mess with that, but I like carburetors. That's what I like to mess with. Easy to tune, no nonsense. And give this thing about 3 more baths of Purple Power and be ready to work on. Yeah, get y'all one more look at it. Enjoyed my Jeep today. She's running fine as can be. Alright guys, y'all take it easy. Just thought I'd make a little video, show y'all what we was working with here. Didn't get much to it yet, but we're going to do a few things to it to get it, you know, a little better drivable. Oh, we might change the gear in the rear. Put a 373 in it. He'll think I'll put nitrous on it when I do that. Alright guys, y'all take it easy. We'll talk to you later. Bye.